Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. This right here is a crock pot of sliced onions. They're sweet onions. And I'm going to caramelize these. And then after they're done caramelizing, I'll put them on the dehydrator and let them dehydrate. And it takes 4 or 5 hours in the crock pot on low to caramelize. And all you do is you just slice them. That's all I did was just, cut the onion in half, and then I just sliced it. You can dice them if you want to, and put dices on your dehydrator after you get done. And that's an option that it's your choice. And I may do that on the next round. This is 6 pounds of sliced onions. I have another bag that I was able to pick up for a good price, and I got these while my onions in my garden were still going, and I would use those as well. And so all you do with this is you fill your crock pot up with your sliced onions. Like I said, this is 6 pounds. I put just a little bit of water, maybe 1/4 of a cup, so that the onions don't stick to the bottom while they're caramelizing. Now they're going to sweat out a lot of water and juice, and when you get done and you take your onions out and drain them, you don't want to put them on the dehydrator with the juice. You want to drain them well, and then you're going to be able to do something with that juice. And here we are on our second kitchen project for today, and it is the steam juicer going again, and this time there's plums in there. Now I had shared with you that my plum tree has not one plum on it this year, and plum jelly, it's a toss-up between plum and blackberry, which is my very favorite. But I found some plums on a good deal, and I wanted to share with you guys that you don't always have to wait until your whole entire harvest comes in before you can start processing things. You can do small batch canning, and you'll find that you don't get as overwhelmed if you just go can as you go along on some things. And these plums, I'm having trouble with that today. These plums, I probably have there's probably about 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds in there, and they're gonna make their juice, and it'll be a beautiful, beautiful deep colored juice, and then I can make jelly or whatever else I choose to make with it, and it'll be good, and we'll enjoy it. Okay, well here we are out in the shop, and we've dug our onions. We got a pretty good harvest, and we had all of that rain, if you guys remember. We had over 4.5 weeks of rain, and so some of our onions didn't get as big as what we were hoping for, but we did get some that were nice size. Now these onions, I don't have a root cellar, so a lot of our onions will be used from now until fall, and we put up our onions in different ways. We don't really try to hang them because we don't have the area as of yet. But well, I say that we have a storage area that is kept, the temperature is kept fairly cool in there. But if you remember, we were having trouble with our electric, and it should be fixed tomorrow here in our shop, so that we can have 220, so that our mini split that's in our storage area will keep things at a nice and cool and consistent temperature. So then I would be able to store these onions. But I don't think that they're going to make it from now all the way till next year's onion production. So anyway, I'm going to get these on. I have an old shelf here, and I'll turn it so that you can see what I'm doing. But it has holes in the bottom of it, so the air is going to be able to come up through those onions and circulate through them, so that they have time to dry and to get cured. Now I know you hear this fan noise, and I'm sorry for that, but it's extremely hot out in this shop, and I have my birds out here, my quail and my baby turkeys, and we have to keep them cool. And then working in here, Blade's been working in here, and I've been working in here, so for the benefit of keeping all of us from crashing out on the floor, the fan is going. So I just apologize for the noise. But I'm going to put them on the shelf and let them cure. Now, when you take them out of your garden, if this is your first time processing onions, your first time harvesting onions, I should say, and you're going to cure them, don't be tempted to wash them off. This is not the point that you want to wash your onions. You want to knock the dirt off of them, but you want to sit them on your shelves or set them on your wire baskets or whatever you're going to do. Hang them. There's so many different things. Set them on screens to let that air flow through them and to let them cure. Don't be tempted to wash them. This is not the time to do that. Okay. So you see this shelf here? I have a 5-gallon bucket here down at my feet, and I'm just going to take these onions out. Now you can see some of them are small, little bulbs, and these can be eaten. Clean that up and clean all this off, wash it, cut that root off, and trim that up, and put that on your supper table, and boy, would it be good, just chomping right into it. Clean, of course. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just simply going to lay them out on here and let them cool. This is a red one. Now you can see that I've got these onions laid out on 3 shelves of onions, and they're not great big huge bulbs. I've got some that are about this size, and I've got some that are this size, red and white, but they'll be good eating, and I'm thankful for the harvest. So these will sit here and they'll cure for about a week or so, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with them. But like I said, do not be tempted to wash these right now. You don't want that. You want them to dry and to cure. Well guys, while I was in here putting up my onions, I went and checked the incubator. Remember I told you I had 1 hatched, and I had 5 eggs. I really had 4 eggs. So all but 1 egg is hatched. There's still 1 left in there. I'm going to give it a little bit longer just to see if it hatches. I didn't see any pips or anything on it. We try to be really careful, but these babies were ready to come out. But here are 4 more little baby turkeys. They're just as sweet as they can be, and I'm going to put them with their big brothers and sisters. I'll get them down here so you guys can see the sweet little things. Aren't they just as cute as they can be? Happy birthday, babies. Happy birthday. So these are going to be little June babies, just like me. And we've got 4 of them here. 3 right here and 1 more right here. They're just as cute as they can be. Okay, I'm going to get them put in there with their family members. The onions have caramelized in the crock pot really nicely, and I left them going all day while I was at the cattle sale. It was a long cattle sale day. They had lots of calves to sell, cow calves, pairs to sell, and other things. And so we were gone. I'd say we were gone, and I probably let those onions go for about 7 or 8 hours, and they were just fine. The crock pot didn't put all that much heat off in the house. And as far as the onion smell, just so you guys know, it smelled like you were cooking a roast in the crock pot overnight. So it wasn't that bad of a smell, or a really strong smell. You knew you had been cooking something though with onions, I will say that. But now the next step is to get them into the dehydrator and let them go. And I know that if I leave that dehydrator in the house, that the smell will be a lot stronger. So I've moved it out here to my covered porch, and I'll let it go overnight. And I think it'll probably take all night for these to dry properly. And maybe in the morning when I test them, they'll have to go on for a little bit longer. But anyway, they're gonna go. The other reason why I wanted to bring the dehydrator outside is because I try my best not to heat the house any more than I have to, and your dehydrator will definitely heat your house up. Especially, you know, it's going to go for quite a long time, and all that heat has to go somewhere, and so your air conditioning is working against the heat of the dehydrator, and so it's just best to bring it out here on the porch. Now I have an Excalibur 9-tray dehydrator. I put 6 pounds of onions in the crock pot sliced, and so I'm putting 6 pounds in the dehydrator that are caramelized. I only put 7 of my trays in here. Now I also have another 6 pounds to go on this batch of minced onion, onion powder, onion salt, whatever I want to do with it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And like I said, it's a 9-tray Excalibur, and people use all kinds of different dehydrators, and they have, you know, they have good results with them. So but I'm very pleased with my Excalibur. Now, all I did was put these onions. You have to drain them, and then you spread them out on your trays just like this. And like I said, I've got 7 trays, and these are going to take the night to get good and dehydrated. Now, some people ask what in the world you can do with dehydrated onions. Well, I like a salad with the French's fried onions, or, you know, fried onions at all. And so these can be used the same exact way in your salad, and they're not fried. They're dehydrated, and they taste wonderful. Because you caramelized them, the flavor and the intensity is so much stronger, and it's so good. You can make onion salt, you can make onion powder, you can use it as minced onion. In any kind of recipe that you want to use it in. You can use this in mixes as well, if you want to make like a soup mix, or you wanted to make any kind of dehydrated mixes that you used onion in, and you know, you could grind the onion up in a spice grinder. The options are wide open for you. And so I'm going to simply set this dehydrator and let it go, and when it's done, I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. So the onions have dehydrated overnight, and I'll take the lid off here and I'll show you what they look like here. Let me find it. Okay, so this is what they look like. I hope you can see that. The sunshine is so bright today. They have dehydrated down, you can see. And the next step, we'll go in the house, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I just dropped one on the floor. Anyway, I'll take these in the house, and we'll show you the next step. So I've brought the onions inside and taken them out of the dehydrator, and now your next step is to figure out what you want to do with your onions. Now you can see I've already done some initial grinding with the onions, and you can see that I have put them in this little food processor, and I've got them in these little bits like this, and those are perfect for using for minced onion and for using on the top of salads if I want to. I really like that little bit of flavor that the onion imparts, and these are not fried, so that'll be a little bit more healthy. Because I love the French's fried onions, and these still have a little bit of that crisp, and it has that caramelized flavor, and it'll be really nice to top salads or whatever you enjoy having the fried onions on. This is what it looks like when it comes off the dehydrator. Now keep in mind these are dark because of that first step that we did in caramelizing them. If you just, you know, sliced your onions or chopped them, whatever your preference is, dicing, chopping, slicing, and you put them on the dehydrator without the caramelization, they won't be as dark as this, but they'll still have a really good oniony flavor. This just adds a little bit something extra. And so out of 6 pounds of onions, I got probably a little over 1.5 quarts, and I've already used out of this one. And I've got some here in my little chopper, and it's a little bit finer than that. But if you want an onion powder, I'm not sure that this little chopper is going to really get me what I'm looking for to go from this on down to the onion powder. Now I have some in here. I can see it. It looks really, really good. Let me get a little spatula and get it out of there so I can show it to you. Because I would have to carry this down further to get it really powdered. And this is so noisy. I don't want to drive you guys up the wall watching me. But you can see that you can get it down to a powder. And I think that you could use this as a onion powder. I think you could add salt to it and make an onion salt, like a homemade onion salt. Any of this or this you would be able to use, like if you wanted to make your own homemade onion soup mix, or any other kind of flavorings to make like a French onion dip, or perhaps even French onion soup. Anything. And I think that you could probably use these, cook these in with a beef broth, and they would flavor it up really nice. Now remember that this is, the way we've done this is a concentrated flavor. So this is going to be a stronger onion, not unpleasant. It's a pleasant onion taste, but it may not require as much onion as your store-bought product would be, because this is a homemade. It's you know, dehydrated, caramelized, dehydrated, and there's not anything else added to it. To just pure onion. So remember, you might want to go light-handed a little bit until you figure out where the taste is that you want to accomplish in your recipes. Well guys, this is Josie. I hope it helps you. I hope you see that you can take your homegrown onions, or onions that you catch on a good sale. Like I said, this was 6 pounds of onion condensed down to a little over a quart, almost 2 quarts really is what this equaled up to be. And you can grind it into powder, make it into minced onions, or you can leave it like this. And these are tasty. And give it a try and see if you can't save yourself a little money and have fun in the process. Well guys, this is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead. I love you, and I hope I helped you a little bit today. Until next time, we're gone.